Hello YouTube, Chris here, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about the different kinds of rims and what kind of rim strips work best with them or don't work with them. I get asked this question a lot. You'll often hear shop people or people who know a lot about bikes referring to wheels, mostly on basic bikes. They'll talk about single wall rims or double wall rims. And a lot of people don't know what the difference is. So today I'm going to show you what both of them are and how you can tell the difference and what rim strip will work well with them. So let's get started. First off, I have a couple cross sections of rim here. Bring us a little closer to the camera. You can see you've got a brake surface on the outside. You've got holes where your spoke nipples will go through to attach the spokes. And you have hooks right here and on the other side that the tire is going to grab. These little holes here are channels. I don't know exactly what they're called, but it's a way of enforcing the rim, make it a little stronger so it's not just one piece of metal. I've got a second one here. It looks a little different. So this first one is what's called a single wall rim. Single wall because it's one layer here of aluminum in this case. You can also get these in steel or carbon fiber, probably not in a single wall. Most of those are going to be, or all of those as far as I know, are going to be double wall. But this is a single wall rim. It's going to come on a much more basic bike, possibly an older bike. It's not as strong, even though it is still aluminum. It's going to be a little bit weaker and more susceptible to going out of true, twisting, bending, or breaking because it's not reinforced by a second layer like our double wall rim. So here you can see you have an additional layer here, so you have that kind of boxed in area at the bottom, which gives it more structural strength. Still has those little holes there, or channels, to strengthen the rim there. Hooks on top. These will have a hole in the upper wall and a smaller hole in the bottom wall, so you can put your spoke nipple through the top, and this here will hold it in the bottom, just like this. So if you take your spoke, go up through the hole, put the nipple on it, and pull it through, you'll see down in there it's recessed in. You can nice and flush over the top of this, and the nipple is actually down inside that little channel and poking through where the spoke attaches. This is going to make a little difference in what kind of rim strips work best. As if I show you here on my single wall rim, the same thing. It just fits right through that hole there. It's not recessed, it actually sticks up in the rim there. So that kind of dictates what kind of rim strip will work best in these. So I've got a few different rim strips laid out here. The first and most basic is just a rubber rim strip. To the best of my knowledge, this is made out of the same type of stuff that your tube is made out of, which means it stretches, it flexes. It does wear out as well. These can get dry just like a tube. They can crack, they can split, they can shift around inside the rim. These are usually what you're going to find with a single wall rim. The reason being is they stretch into place and they give nice coverage through the entire inside of the rim, even when stretched, to hold it in place. That coverage is what's going to keep even a protruding spoke nipple from the other side from puncturing your tube. So these are the most common for single wall rims because they give good coverage. They're held in just by the tightness of that rim strip as it wraps around the entirety of the rim. And they're inexpensive. These usually run only a couple bucks to replace. Just a small piece of rubber that wraps from the inside of the rim. This is usually only on older bikes, but they do this stuff. It almost looks like the kind of stuff you use to wrap around a pallet to tie it down. It's this real heavy plastic, or I don't really know what it's made out of, but this is actually what came in this wheel that I cut apart. This is another way of covering the spoke nipples, and it fits well down inside that channel of that rim there to cover those spoke nipples from coming in contact with your tube. So that's another option that works well with single wall. Both these options, well, the rubber rim strip does work with your double wall. not the best option because it's kind of a cheaper rim strip, but it will cover those holes. Those holes can often have jagged edges which can get to your tube and cut it if you have a lot of pressure, especially because it's just a drilled hole in a piece of aluminum. So this is good coverage to it. These are, you know, susceptible to shifting around, especially with pressure from a tube on the other side of it. I would recommend something more like this. Nice heavy duty rim strip here. These are kind of stretched on, and when they're on, they hold really tight and give good coverage of the inside of the rim, covering all your spoke nipple holes. What's probably more popular, and this will also work on your single wall, depending on what brand, you may have to try to find one that fits better. These are usually made for higher end road bikes or mountain bikes, so they're kind of size specific, and a lot of times you won't find these with single wall rims. Velox Fondagent cloth rim tape. This is a little different. It's adhesive backed, so I wouldn't recommend this for single wall, and the reason being is with those pieces sticking up, you don't have a nice surface for this to stick to, so it'll often shift or not adhere well, and it will move around and not stay in place. These are much better for double wall rims. You can put it right down the center there. You don't have any spoke nipples popping up. Stick it down really nicely, and it will stay in place for you. You know, you can peel it out when you're done. The last type of rim tape I have here, this is a piece of Stan's 25mm tubeless tape. Now, it's double wall rims. I don't believe there's anything out there that's single wall and tubeless, because single wall is usually cheaper wheels anyway. So usually it'll be, I think always it'll be a double wall rim. This will go down inside. They're designed to fit a little bit wider because they want to clip the sides, because this rim strip is designed to make an airtight seal for a conversion kit or on a tubeless ready wheel. And this will fit down inside here and cover those holes with a really tough adhesive back on it that's going to allow it to make an airtight seal, so that air from that tubeless tire is not going to sneak out those nipple holes in the rim. So that'd be the last type there. There may be other types out there. This is just what I'm familiar with, and in my experience what works best. So if you're dealing with single wall, usually a stretch-on rim strip or rubber. If you're dealing with double wall, really any of them, but I think the best would be a cloth rim strip or a higher end stretch-on rim strip or tubeless. So that's all for this one. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about these different types of rims, or where you might find them, or what you might encounter with them, please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please subscribe. I'm going to make some more. Thank you.